What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Take a look at what is happening here with oil and gas prices. It's crazy. Yeah, gasoline prices on the rise despite high oil production in the US. And this is really starting to become a major concern here. Yeah, you can see here oil prices are steadily starting to rise as OPEC and OPEC Plus, which is Russia and Saudi Arabia and countries in the Middle East, are really starting to take effect as they have cut production by 3+ million barrels per day. And you can see oil over $80 a barrel, $85 a barrel, almost $90 a barrel, really starting to raise prices and really starting to kick in. You can see gas prices here in the United States, national average gas prices. Look at how much this is starting to affect the United States. A month ago, we were at $3.56 on average. Now we're at $3.86. Our gas prices have gone up 30 cents in 30 days. Yeah, so just let that sink in for a second there. A month ago, we were down 30 cents. Now we're up 30 cents in 30 days. Take a look here at diesel. Diesel a month ago was $3.86. Now we're at $4.34. So let me see here. 14 cents plus 34 is 34.44, almost 50 cents, 48 cents higher. Wow, in 30 days. So you can kind of see it feels like we're going back to where we were a year ago. A year ago, we were at 391 for a regular. We're at 386, so just about there. And a year ago, diesel was at 4.99 on average, again for the US, almost $5 a gallon for diesel. We're at 4.34. So my diesel was very expensive a year ago. The disparity between diesel and regular much, much higher than it is now. We could get back there again. Now remember here that the all-time highs were even higher here back to June of 2022 here was $5.01 average for the United States. If you're in California, God bless you, because we know you've seen even higher here. Diesel at 581 for diesel, again, on the average for the US. And all this, as we've seen here, going back to the headline here, despite high oil production in the US. And again, you're going to get people who don't believe this or not. And this is why I'll show you it directly from the US government here. Here it is, the U.S. Energy Information Administration, which shows our how much oil production we have. And we can go right here. We actually kind of have a little spike of oil production here. We are almost at an all-time high. So our all-time high before the pandemic drop was 13 thousands of barrels per day, aka 13 million barrels, okay, per day. We are now at 12,700. So we are almost at all-time peak capacity high, okay? Just to put that into perspective. So a lot of people don't realize this. You know, they get the whole, oh, Biden is, stymied oil production, et cetera, which is not really the case. Because if you look back here, when Biden came into office, which was right about here, when the pandemic hit, we were at 11,000 barrels per day, 10,900, which is somewhere around here in January. of the first year he came into office, when the pandemic was hit. Again, we've seen the massive drop from when the pandemic hit. That's when oil prices and gas prices plummeted because the country shut down, the world shut down from the pandemic. That's when you saw the $1 something and change, because again, oil prices actually went negative for a small time there because of the pandemic. And we actually seen everything drop significantly here. And then since then, oil production has actually been going up and up and up and up and up. But the problem here is that you're seeing this right here. Saudi Arabia pledges big oil cuts in July as OPEC Plus extends their deal all the way into 2024. And OPEC Plus, Saudi Arabia, and Russia, as part of the OPEC Plus, has actually cut their oil production by 3 million barrels per day. And if you look back here, when we're producing almost 13 million barrels per day, 3 million barrel per day cut is like 30% of our entire output. Okay. That's a lot. So that, again, when you just look at the entire output of the world, that it's a lot to combat a 3 million barrel per day cut. And this is what is helping keep oil prices high overall. Overall, you're constantly fighting against the Saudis, Russia, and the Middle Eastern countries that are continuously making the world pay more for a barrel of oil. And a barrel of oil is about 50% of the price of gasoline, diesel, or anything. Now, you will see here that natural gas is actually has dropped dramatically. See if I can bring up this chart here. It's kind of wacky. All right, here is a 1-year chart of natural gas prices. You can see how much they've dropped. They were at like $10 per unit natural gas. Now have dropped down to $2.50 per unit. So keep that in mind if you use natural gas to heat your home or anything like that. But also note that they can change on the drop of a dime. Okay, so use that if you're negotiating with carriers to heat your home, or you can switch carriers, and you're trying to lock in a price for winter heating or something like that. Natural gas is much cheaper at the moment. At the moment, and again, this stuff can change very quickly. As you can see here, a year ago, very, very expensive, not so expensive now, but it can change very rapidly, very rapidly. I will caution you guys on that. Natural gas, again, on a different scale, so keep that in mind. So, a little bit of good news in there for natural gas if you use that. The problem with competing against Russia, Saudi Arabia, and the Middle Eastern countries, especially for diesel and for gasoline, is that we need it. We need it. It also contributes to higher food prices. The good news is a little bit of kind of ingrained good news there is that we're seeing the U.S. government and governments around the world go into alternative energies with solar, wind power, and things like that. And they're using, especially for our energy grid, okay, pretty much every single state is investing into alternative energies with solar, wind power, turbines, even hydroelectric. And that actually helps take the strain off of our demand for gasoline, diesel, and gases that come out, oils that come out of the ground. So the more that we build that is actually good. You put up wind, you put up solar, those things last for decades with little maintenance. Where if especially on a government level, the less oil and stuff that the government needs is the better for us, average everyday Americans, because we can't necessarily go out and convert things as much as the government can, or even not necessarily convert things, but just we're growing in energy needs as a society. And so when the states or the government adds more power, when they add it in as solar or wind, and it just helps to contribute to new power needs, those are good because it helps to not raise the prices of diesel and gasoline, and it helps keep those prices a little bit lower, if you kind of know what I'm saying here. Because if they're just raising the demand for diesel and gasoline and even natural gas, that would be worse for us when we need to go fill up our gas tanks and stuff like that, or fuel our homes. So let me know your thoughts here in the comments. I'll keep you up to date here. If you haven't yet, click the subscribe button down below and the bell icon so you don't miss out on any new videos. It's completely free to do so. Thanks for liking and sharing these videos. Click here to see Russia and North Korea teaming up on a nuclear level, which is very concerning. Or you can click here to see why multiple national stores are closing, which is very concerning as well. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.